Good morning, Colorado. Welcome to a Hump Day edition of Local Biz Buzz. I'm your host, Larry Hers, and today in studio I have Sarah from Bird Kombucha.
Hi.
So, confession time. Not only have I never tried coffee in my life, or meth actually, I've actually never tried kombucha.
Yay.
And I'm going to today. I'm intrigued. These actually are very appealing to the eye. They look delicious. So yeah, we're gonna drink some.
I'm so excited.
Give me a little history of you and Third Bird.
So Third Bird is named after my third bird, my son Silas. He is an autistic individual, and I set out to find ways to make the world a little bit kinder and gentler for him. He suffers from GI issues and sensory processing issues, and so when I'm not brewing kombucha and being a mom, I'm also a middle school science teacher. So using my science background, I did a ton of research and just started really always coming back to the brain-gut connection and what could I do to really make that healthier. And it just kept coming back to building up a good, healthy gut. And that means introducing diverse foods. And at the time, Silas was only really drinking milk. He lived off of milk probably for a good year of his life. So trying to get him to try different things was really hard. And so by chance, I was like, well, what if I tried kombucha? My husband used to brew it. He kept it in an old fish tank above our refrigerator, and he would take it like a shot, and he would do the face like, and I thought it was just disgusting and gross, and I was like, ugh. But I was like, what?
How long ago was this?
This was like 6 years ago.
Okay.
He did this. I was like, okay, well, I'm a science teacher. I could figure this out, you know. And so I started brewing, and it turned out he liked it. And little by little, I started noticing changes in him.
Wow.
You know, his gut was really tight and hard, and so twisting and turning and getting into his car seat was challenging, getting change was challenging, but all of a sudden he got looser. Things weren't as difficult anymore. And so it just became like a little buffer for him. But it also became a buffer for me because life is hard. And, you know, when I am working all the time, being a mom, you don't really take time for yourself.
Sure.
And what brewing gave me was like an hour of my life. Every Sunday I sat down and I brewed kombucha.
Let's explain to people what kombucha is for beginners like me.
All right. So kombucha is really simple. All it is sweet tea, okay? And then we put something really cool on top of it. So this is the science part of it. All right, you ready for this?
I'm ready.
I'm going to introduce you to something. Okay. So all we do is we build the sweet tea. And then on top of it goes this bad boy, which is called the SCOBY. All right? Now, sometimes from something...
Everybody's mouth
I know.
went agape right there.
So sometimes from something gross and unfamiliar comes wellness. And this is what we have here. So what a SCOBY stands for is a symbiotic, which means just like mutually beneficial, relationship between yeast and bacteria. Okay? And so you make your sweet tea, and then you put basically just raw kombucha, so mature kombucha, in it, and then you lay this on top. And what happens is the yeast that's in here, and you can kind of see some of it. I don't know if you can zoom in. Some of that brown stuff right there, that's the yeast. There's more inside here. But the yeast eats up that sugar that's in the sweet tea.
But literally, what is this?
This right here, okay, so this is a cellulose film, and it's made up of that yeast and that bacteria.
It almost looks like chicken.
It does almost look like chicken or like a big booger, you know, one of the two. So, like maybe a chicken booger, I don't know. And so what happens is, okay, we call this the mother, okay? And so this gets put on top. The yeast eats that sugar. Then the yeast releases it through that, you know, process, releases an acid, okay, called acetic acid. That acid then gets eaten by the yeast. And what the yeast does is it starts to build up this cellulose layer. And you'll start to see that, you can kind of see that there's different layers on top of here. This is a new one.
Okay.
But each one is basically a new batch of kombucha that I've used this for.
And do you reuse this?
I can reuse this, yeah. And so it takes about, depending on the size of your vessel, between 10 to 21 days to ferment.
Okay.
And then at the end of you taste it, depending upon your level of tartness or sweetness you want. Okay? You remove the SCOBY and you have a really good functional drink.
What are the benefits in your mind of kombucha?
So there's lots of benefits. Not only does it taste really good, it helps to bolster your probiotics and giving you a really good healthy gut. Helps and aid in digestion. Having a really good healthy gut also helps with good mental health. Giving you kind of that buffer, like I said before. It's got a lot of antioxidants in it. All of the flavors that I choose are all things that have some sort of nutritional benefit for kids and people who are experiencing GI issues with sensory processing. So it's not only a drink that tastes good, but it does good.
Let's jump into your flavors since you brought that up.
Yeah,
Start with
sure.
this guy right here.
All right, so this is my Blackberry Sage. So all of the sage that is in my kombucha is either grown by me or is grown
In your garden in Park Hill,
in my garden in Park Hill.
Which is nuts.
Yeah, or it in the winter I can't obviously grow, so I've been using Altus Farms in Rhino above Uchi.
Sure.
Fantastic people. So this comes from them right now.
Okay.
All right, this is my raspberry elderflower. This one is like a cold fighting ninja. Okay, so you got a lot of vitamin C, but also the elderberry flower is a really good antioxidant. Helps to like mitigate any, like if you start to feel that snuffle or sneeze coming on, drink some of that.
Okay. The packaging and the colors are very appealing.
Aren't they great?
Yeah.
I was really lucky. I have a really talented friend, Greg, who did my label for me. So the strawberry basil, this is my flagship flavor. This is like the one where I kind of knew, like, ooh, people should have this.
Okay.
So basil is a really good antioxidant, like inflammatory. You can use it. It just kind of helps kill all the crud that's in it, but then the strawberry is super sweet, so it's kind of like drinking summer in a glass.
All right, 2 more to go, and then I'm going to drink some of
So I brought you something really special. Nobody's actually had this one
All
yet.
right. Well,
So
that's
you get to be.
this. Should that be the one that I drink?
I mean, you should drink all of them, but nobody's actually tried this one
Okay.
yet. So this is my brand new flavor. This is Pear Lavender. So I feel like everybody, needs a little chill. And so that's what this one's all
This
about.
one's chill you out.
Yeah.
All right, last guy.
All right. This one is my Hibiscus Lime Mint. So again, the mint all comes from my garden. This is one of the only that's slightly different than all the rest of these. The rest of these are made of a base of both black and green tea. This one is purely just green tea based. So it's got my lowest in terms of caffeine. In terms of sugar, these are all super low sugar. What you see is what you get. I don't add anything extra to it, so.
Now the question everybody's wondering is, how do they get this?
How do they get this? Easy. So you go to my website, www.thirdbirdcollective.com, and you can order right then. The best way to do it is we have been selling out pretty regularly, and so we have a subscription program. So people can sign up and they can get 4 bottles, 8 bottles, or 12 bottles delivered straight to their house for free.
How often do they get the 4 or 8?
Yeah, I know, you might be like, 12 bottles of kombucha, that's a lot. So if you got 4 bottles, it would come once a month,
Okay.
8 bottles twice a month, 12 bottles 3 times a month.
How often should you be drinking kombucha?
I mean, I drink it every day.
Okay.
The recommended allowance is about 8 ounces. But just like anything that's functional and different, you want to kind of build up to it,
Okay. So,
All right.
1 or 2 ounces is good for me for today?
I mean, I think you should try a bunch of them. You should just try
After
them.
never trying, didn't you just say I should work up to it?
I know, but you look like somebody who can handle it.
Yeah.
I know. Right? He should handle it.
Yeah.
Are you nervous?
Yeah.
Is that what's happening?
Nervous?
Are
No.
you nervous about this? All right, try it. All right.
Cheers. Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too.
We'll see you at 11:30 for what's for lunch. Let's drink.
Let's drink.
People say it's gross. That's not gross.
That's not gross at all,
It's
right?
delicious.
I told you.